What is going on, guys? It's Esquilo here, and I'm back with another new Wi-Fi battle. We're going up against Star, and Star was the one that gave us this team that we're using this time. It's the same team that we used against Blue Easy, and it consists of the Grand Bull, Life Orb, Quiver Dance, Lilligan, Ian the Luge Lantern, Sand Slash, Choice Scarf, Magmortar, and Black Glasses Leopard. His team is his Shift 3, his whatchamacallit, Kabutops, his Vivillion, Kecleon, his own Choice Scarf, Magmortar, his Golurk. That is his team. So looking at his team, I just decided to start off with my Leopard because I could just U-turn on anything since I outspeed his entire team apart from that Magmortar. So he's gonna start off with his Golurk, because I do start off with my Leopard, and I know he has a Koba Bear because I gen his team, so I'm just gonna go for a U-turn, knowing that he will stay in, and I'm just gonna go into my own Slash because it's the perfect opportunity to try and get my Stealth Rocks up, or even deal some damage to this Golurk. That was my thought process at the time. So he's gonna go for his own Stealth Rocks, knowing that he could take any one hit from my Leopard. A smart move on his part, so I'm just gonna go for a knockoff, just to get rid of his Koba Berry, just in case later on I need to knock off on him with my Leopard or even Sucker Punch. So he's just gonna go for Earthquake. I'm sorry, guys, and it's gonna deal a lot of damage by Sand Slash actually. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna set up my own rocks because he does have that Vivillion in the back, and I don't want that thing to come in at full health and set up with the Focus Slash intact. So I'm just going for my own Stealth Rocks, as he does take me out with his Earthquake, and this gives me free switch into my Showtime, the Lilligant, and I could go for a Giga Drain here or even an HPS to break the switch. I just went for the safe Giga Drain because apart from that Magmortar, it will hit everything super hard, and even this Shift 3 that comes in, it's a resisted hit. He is not gonna take this that well, as you guys can see. So I'm sorry, guys, I'm really tired, and I'm gonna get some Life Orb damage, and I know I can take it out with an HP Ice, but I don't want to risk a Sucker Punch from a Shift 3, so I'm just gonna switch out into my Grand Bull, because I can take any one hit that he wants, even better after Intimidate. But Star here, he's gonna make a nice play, and he's gonna double out into his Vivillion. Oh, and at this point, I know that Vivillion is gonna outspeed, and I don't want anything that I want to be put asleep, and I can risk going into my Lilligant and catch a Hurricane. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay in and let him put my Grand Bull to sleep, and I'm gonna switch out back into Leopard just in case he goes for a Quiver Dance. I can encore him, and he'll be stuck, and he'll be either forced to switch out or to sack the Vivillion. So I'm gonna pull out, as I said. I'm gonna pull out. Oh, guys. So I'm gonna go into my Leopard, as I said, and here he misclicks and he goes for a Sleep Powder, which is unfortunate, and it will. At this point, I just decided to sack my Leopard because I still have to take turns of sleep, and his entire team can take care of Leopard in one hit basically. So Leopard just goes down without doing much in this battle, which is unfortunate, and I'm just gonna bring in my Scarf Magmortar here to clean up the mess that this Vivillion did, and I'm just gonna go straight for Fire Blast. He can switch out if you want, but something will take a heavy hit from this Magmortar, and Vivillion does go down because even if it's switch out, he only had one more way to get in, and he's gonna bring in his Casdia, and he's definitely gonna scare me out because I don't want to catch Earthquake, Stone Edge, or even a Waterfall from this thing. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go into my Lilligant, hoping he goes for a Waterfall because he's the safest move, or even an Earthquake. But he goes for the best move, and he goes for the Rapid Spin, and at this point I know I will outspeed him, so I just decided to fire off HPIs, predicting the the shifter to come in, but he's gonna sack his Golurk which I got 4 Giga, then I'll be in even better position. But 8 power ice is not going to be enough to take out this Golurk, and this will force me to use another move and get more life or recoil, which is unfortunate for me. But I do take out the Golurk, and he's going to bring in his own Shifter here, and this is where the 50-50s are going to start. Because he knows what I have, I know what he has. So I'm gonna bank that he's gonna predict me to switch fearing the Sucker Punch, and I'm just gonna go for Angel Power Ice, and I do win the 50-50 here. So this is really good because Shift 3 could be really annoying later on in the battle. So he's gonna go into his Kecleon, and I am gonna switch out. And I'm gonna go into my Granbull because I can intimidate this thing, and I know I can eat any hit that this Kecleon has because he only has dark and fighting moves. Because I know, I gen his team, I know what he has, so I know Granbull is the perfect switch into this Kecleon. So he's gonna go for a knockoff. He has to switch out because I can wake up at any point, and I can just go for a play rough. I pressed play rough here, but unfortunately I do catch a second turn of sleep. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna stay in. I'm gonna bank on him, predicting once again that I'm going to switch out, and I'm gonna stay in and go for a Thunder because I know that his Magmora is scarfed. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for a play rough here, and he's gonna switch out, which is fine by me. And he's gonna go into his Kesnia, and I'm gonna go for a play rough here. And it's gonna do a lot of damage to these Kabutops, as he's gonna go for a Stone Edge. It's not gonna be enough to take out my Granbull, and here unfortunately I misclick and I press Super Fang. It's fine because it's not that fine because I mean it would still be the same thing because Kecleon would have just came in. It would actually be worse if my Granbull lived, to be honest. So at least I left him in range of his own life form, so he's gonna bring in his Kecleon here as a... I do bring my own Lily... no, I bring in my Lantern here, and I'm just gonna go fire off a Scald. I'm gonna hope for a burn here, I'm not gonna lie, because this Kecleon now has the potential to sweep me, and I do get the burn, luckily for me, and he's gonna go for a power-up punch. And now that he's burned, he's gonna be only at +1. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go for a Volt Switch, and I'm gonna go into my Lilligant here. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But as I said, I'm gonna go for a Volt Switch here. It's not gonna do much because he's a Salt Vest, and I'm gonna go into my Lilligant here, and this is where the 50-50s restart, because he has Sucker Punch, and he's gonna go for another Power Punch, which means that he's at neutral now. So what is he gonna do? He's gonna go for a Sucker Punch, or is he gonna predict me? But he did go for a Sucker Punch, and ladies and gentlemen, I did go for a Quiver Dance here, trying to get as much burns as I can on him, and I won the second 50-50. The third 50-50 is coming now. Is he gonna go for another Sucker Punch, or is he gonna predict me to go for another Quiver Dance? He goes for the Sucker Punch, and he takes out my Lilligant here, which is unfortunate. But here is where I make a big misplay. I thought, and I didn't really saw how much Scald did the first time, and I thought that another Scald would just take him out from this range. So I go into my Lantern, I go for a Scald, and I'm not gonna kill this thing. And he has Drain Punch. I knew he had Drain Punch. And he's just gonna do a lot of damage to this Lantern. And the worst thing is that he will regain health and get himself in a better position. So I really made a really bad play here, and this is getting close to the end, because now that this Kecleon has Drain Punch and I let him live to use the Drain Punch, he's just gonna be able to get even more health back, and being able to run away from a burn death or even a skull or even my own bull switch. So what I'm gonna do here, I press toxic here. Once again I misclick and he goes for power punch. Oh my god. This year was fatal. It was a year that I basically lost because now he's at +1, and had I not misclick here and gone for Scald, he would have won. I would have won here because I have my Magmor here that will outspeed his own Magmor because he's paralyzed, while this Kecleon will be gone by now. But now that he's at +1, Sucker Punch is going to take out my own Magmor, and that will be the game, ladies and gentlemen. This was a really great battle, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't lose because he doubled Sleep Powder. I lost because I sent in my Lantern on his Kecleon when I should have sent my Magmor. But that was my misplay, and I paid heavily for it. So yeah, this was the battle, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. So peace.